MeshCore. I've been talking a lot about MeshCore recently. I've obviously made a ton of videos on Meshtastic devices, Keynote, MusiWorks, Seed Studio, all makers of great little companion nodes you carry for off-grid communication. These talk to each other, whether you connect your phone to them or you have ones with a little keyboard attached. But MeshCore is a slightly different network. They do not interoperate. And I got a question from somebody saying, what are you doing with MeshCore? You're spending a lot of time recently on it. What is its capability? How does it function? And today I'm going to take the opportunity to explain what a really, really, really good mesh network looks like here in Southern California. We have the SoCal Mesh. It runs up north through Ventura County, all the way basically down to the Mexico border, and we can communicate pretty much in that entire space. It's amazing. It's very impressive. And so people wanted to know, what do you actually do on MeshCore? What is its capability? So for the sake of this video, I'm using 3 companion nodes, the type of nodes you keep on your person. This is the MusiWorks R1 Neo. This is the T1000 that's available at Seed Studios. And then also the Rack Wireless Tag, which I did a recent review of. You should go check it out. It's one of my favorite nodes. It's a little bit more weather resistant than the T1000, and I think it's also a couple of dollars more, so go check that out. But anyway, and then the biggest part of my network, the companion nodes are cool, hot and sexy little things you keep in your pocket. But the thing that really makes it usable for me is I have a Seed Studios solar repeater on my roof. And I did a special hack that I converted the antenna connection from SMA, which it comes with stock, to a Type N. I will provide links in the video description to whichever one's available. And I will also provide the Amazon link to that quick little jumper cable that I ended up buying so that I could put an alpha 915 megahertz antenna on the repeater, and it's been working flawlessly since then. So let's head over to the tabletop, and I'll show you what you can do with these devices. The first and foremost thing that I have to mention is the fantastic Discord where the SoCal Mesh group organizes. It helped me program not just my companion node, but also the repeater on my roof and a number of other small repeater devices as well. So let's show you just what we're looking at. I'm using the MusiWorks Neo, and I have notifications here for different channel updates and whatnot, and somebody's going to ask, what antenna am I using? This is the Smiley antenna made by the Smiley company. This is their LoRa antenna. They have a couple different versions, but I like the one with the little knurling on the side. Anyway, yeah, so 350 contacts or so, just lots of people. I'll show the map here. The map is absolutely insane. This is up in Ventura County, and it reaches all the way down to the border, basically. And this is, yeah, pretty much a unbroken mesh. You can see as you dive in further that there's quite a lot of repeaters. Now, that's something that I think for those that are familiar with Meshtastic need to understand is that MeshCore uses a system of companion nodes, so the node that you keep on your person, and then repeaters. And repeaters are things that you put on mountains, or in my case, it's on my roof and it's solar powered. So I have a repeater down in where I live. But all these little gray boxes, oh, that's me actually, the HRCC solar repeater. These are gray repeater nodes that show up on the map. Now these guys' job, their entire function, is to repeat status from the companion nodes. And so what this does is it reduces congestion, if you will, on the network by only these guys transmitting to repeaters, and then the repeaters bounce them off of your other nodes. And that's what allows you to go from my location down to Southern California here, where Adam K6ARK is, and some of the other soda guys, right? So yeah, lots of nodes, lots of cool stuff. Speaking of that, I'll show you probably my favorite thing within the app, and that's where I can type in the name of my repeater. So that's the HRCC solar repeater. And then I'm presented with a logon screen. Now, I'm going to go from this node directly to my repeater, and it will pop up as me controlling it as admin. And then I can request status, and you want to do that to cut down on bandwidth. And it'll tell me important things like my battery, different logon, time that it's been on the air, 3 days so far since I've restarted it after doing a small change. And then it gives me some standard metrics like the amount of received packets, errors, etc., etc. But I can also change the settings for this repeater. I can go in and I can refresh it to pull the radio settings so I know which frequency I'm operating on, the bandwidth, the spreading factor, the coding rate. All of this very important for the capability of the repeater. Now, if you are in the SoCal area, again, I remind you that the Discord is a fantastic place. SoCal Mesh is a fantastic place to get information on how you should program your nodes, because that's another very important part of MeshCore is that, well, yes, there is a preset. A lot of the very good meshes are not on the presets for your region. In fact, 927.875 is not a preset frequency, and that's where this entire network is connected over 927.875. Very important. And then you can go in and you can do a number of other things like sync your clock and change, add a guest password, a number of other stuff that goes into it, as well as version control. Now, there is a way for some of this stuff that I haven't had to do this because I'm on the current latest version, that you can actually do an over-the-air update. I haven't dabbled in that yet, so I don't really know what that is yet. You can even go so far as to send command lines directly to it. But anyway, there you go. So the fact that I can go straight to my repeater, including all those little solar nodes that I showed you my building of, if I'm in RF proximity of them, I can actually go in and change their settings, which is really, really, really helpful if you're trying to remote operate any of these devices. So there you go. Now, if we go out of here, so let me get out of that. And I'll go to channels now. Now the channels, explosive amount of conversations in the channels. I have them sorted by the most recent message received or latest message, and public is usually where all that activity is going to be. And yes, it's a chat. It's a chat room. That's what you're doing. Spoiler alert, we're however many minutes into this video, and this is a chat room, right? And so these are all people talking. And it's not just, oh, test, oh, can you hear me? Oh, this, that, or the other, although that's important because that test request is passed off to the hashtag test page or test channel. So if you add something like T or for test or P for path, it will tell you how well you're doing. So from here, and even though it's laying down, so it's horizontally polarized basically, I'll hit transmit, and we got one repeat, now two repeats. So that means it probably made it to my roof node, and we got a response. So 14 and 22 are repeaters. It took 2 hops to get to the Mesh Bud bot, who is giving me my feedback. In case you wanted to know, 14 is my roof repeater, and then 22 is Mount Wilson's repeater, which, as the crow flies, is pretty far away from my house. And it's one of the most prominent nodes in my area, so I can get around really well with that. But that takes up a lot of that, hey, am I being heard? Hey, what's going on? Tell me where I'm at, blah, blah, blah. This does a lot of the work for you. But then outside of that, you have fantastic other channels like CERT and SoCal Soda and Ham Radio. So let's check out CERT. Another test. It still happens, but you get acknowledgement. So if there's an emergency that comes up, people will hop on here. The reason why I started dabbling with this more is because of SoCal Soda. This is literally people going to summits or on summits, communicating and telling them where they're activating from. Now, you might be thinking, well, why not just use your phone? Why not spot, etc., etc.? Well, the reality is that there's more eyeballs on this in a lot of cases because it's one app, one simple frequency, and you can just ask somebody, hey, spot for me, or hey, I'm going to 20 meters, can somebody check if they can hear me? Or I'm going to do VHF, UHF, CW, can you hop over there and see if you can hear me? It's a really good party line for people that go off-grid hiking. And because it's kind of line of sight to a lot of repeaters, there was an activation that Mark Knight just did. In fact, you can go watch his video where he took out the Soda Queens, which is kind of a little event they have where a number of ladies go out and do a soda activation, and Mark tagged along with his wife Dee, and they actually got into not an emergency situation, but a situation where they needed to communicate and they needed to find one of the ladies. And while I'll let him cover more information, but we were communicating, and he was communicating with other people via MeshCore because they didn't really have good cell phone coverage. And so that's an incredibly value-based option for something that's kind of like a little pager, right? Yeah, so pretty cool. You can get all kinds of cool updates from people when they're out and about off-grid. It's been fantastic for that, and I've just been kind of having a blast with it. MeshBud is another testing app. So if I do, let's do path this time and see what it says. I think I did test the last time. I don't remember, but we should get something here. If you made it to the halfway point, you're probably curious to know what is the difference between Meshtastic and MeshCore. Well, I am working on that video. We will be talking about it in the future, but I wanted to make sure that people had a full understanding from my words to you on what MeshCore is capable of, because I've definitely talked about what Meshtastic can do. And so once we do the comparison, hopefully you'll have a better understanding where one might be better, or both in a lot of situations, for you to have in your capability, in your radio preparedness arsenal. Well, see, I tried to do a fun little simple demonstration video and I didn't get a reply, even though I got repeated twice. But yeah, so I've got a number. See, there's been 3 updates on public. It's literally updating live at this point and people are chatting. I can make it all the way down south to talk to Adam on this. Is it more effective than me using my cell phone to just text him? No, probably not. But again, these are off grid. I cannot state that enough for people that might be confused on what this is. This is an off-grid messaging system. We own these little companion devices and we own the repeaters. We put them up at a high vantage point and then we use them. That's all there is to it. There's no service involved. There's no AT&T. There's no Verizon, T-Mobile, etc. It's just these little devices. Some of these can be expensive. This one's, I'd say, more of the top tier, which is close to like $100. But you can build them for as little as $20 in a lot of cases. Go look at my little solar node device. That can be just a companion node, but I have them set up as repeaters, and they work for when I'm like out and about and I need to repeat my signal and I don't want to depend on someone else's repeater. I can put that solar device up high and I can beacon through it. So pretty cool. All in all, having a blast. If you're watching this and going, what more does it do? Well, that's it. We've done it. We've hit the bottom. There are channels that are active, although I don't have an example of them now, like breaking news. And yeah, you can go through here and people will report on news, and there's links. And so if you take a link, it'll take you to the actual posting, as long as you have data. Vegetation fire, for instance, helpful information, as well as emergency, although we don't have anything in there right now. I will drop a couple of links. Again, it's likely going to be more focused on the SoCal folks, but it will give you an example of what's available out here. Now, for the ham radio operators, this is a great tool. This is a really fun device. It's a really fun thing to play around with and have the capability of if you're a ham person. I say that because there's a lot more settings to play around with here. There's a lot more you have to do to kind of set this up. That Meshtastic is more kind of turnkey, turn them on, run them, and they communicate. Great for off-grid, great for this asynchronous kind of node setup. So if I have 2 nodes and we go out into the field, we just start connecting and we can transmit, we can get your locations, etc., etc. MeshCore is a little bit more thought out than that, right? I may carry this guy around with me everywhere, but he's largely going to depend on the kindness of the local repeaters. And the local repeaters are generally not going to move, and they're going to be put up at a high enough vantage point with a good enough antenna that I can get my signal through the companion to those repeaters and up and out. So there's a number of people that are doing, home-based repeaters on their roof, or they're setting something up on a mountain that they may have access to the land, or maybe they're just running a repeater on the top of their car. Maybe you got a truck like I do, and they have a nice little repeater on top of that. Is it going to be the most effective repeater? No, maybe not. But it is going to increase your chances of getting this signal to the repeater on your roof of your truck and then out to a more effective repeater. And since the hopping structure of MeshCore is more robust, I'd say, than that of Meshtastic, then you can likely still get out. So literally, while we're going on, there's just people talking this whole time. Very active. Now, this isn't me making this video to show off how cool our network is, although it is very cool and it's very effective. This is more or less a suggestion for you all to consider adding your own repeater to the top of your house, or if you have access to a repeater site, potentially add a repeater up there. Spread them around a little bit and see how you can flesh out your mesh so that your companion nodes can communicate without much fuss. Anyway, simple video. Hopefully that was enjoyable. That's what the network looks like here in Southern California. It's quite robust. It's very good. Thank you for having it here for me to participate on, even though I am working, I guess, if you will, to support it with my repeater, and hopefully in the future place more repeaters. But at the very least, it's just working fantastically for me. So anyway, I'm Josh KI6NAZ. I'll drop pertinent links in the video description if you are so inclined, and I will talk to you later. 73.